Hello everyone. Good afternoon to all the students. Today we will discuss the topic HTTP protocol in the subject Internet and Web Technology. So in previous lecture we will cover our topics like overview of this subject, and in the second lecture I covered the topic that will related to the basic introduction of internet, what are the concept of internets, and what do you mean by www, and basic concepts that are related to World Wide Web. So these are some topics that are discussed in the previous lecture. So after continuing this lecture series, we will discuss the topic HTTP protocol. These are some outlines. On the basis of this outline, I will discuss the today lecture on this topic. First content of today lecture is prerequisite of topic, introduction of HTTP. Basically the full form of HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. How this protocol works. Next topic is HTTP Request Response Protocol, and in the last we will discuss some learning outcomes of this topic, and exercise and references will be shown here. Now, what are the prerequisites of this HTTP protocol? So when we will study the basic concepts of HTTP, or what do you mean by HTTP protocol, how it works, so we will know some basic knowledge of internet and protocols. So this is the main prerequisite. Before discussing the concept of HTTP protocol, we have some basic idea that will related to internet and its protocols that will used in different layers that are used in TCP IP, transmission control protocol, and internet protocol. Some idea that are related to web concept or World Wide Web. So it is also very useful when we will study the HTTP protocol. So these are two prerequisites of today lecture. Now the introduction of HTTP is the first topic of today lecture. Basically HTTP means the full form of HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and this protocol is generally used for communication between web browser and web server. So if any person or any user want to communicate with the help of web browser and web server, so for communication we will use Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol works on TCP/IP Internet Protocol model. TCP means Transmission Control Protocol and IP means Internet Protocol. So by default when we will work on HTTP, so default port connection value of TCP is 80. So with this port connection we will make the connection between HTTP and TCP. And basically HTTP is some function that will similar to FTP and SMTP. FTP means File Transfer Protocol and SMTP means Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. How it can be similar to HTTP or FTP? So what is the similarity between HTTP and FTP? Because FTP transfer files and it also uses the service of TCP. So FTP generally use only one connection that will be connected to TCP. There is no separate control connection, only data are transferred between the client and server. But in HTTP, it uses the services of TCP on the well-known port number 80. Now, the HTTP belongs to which layer? So I already discussed in the previous lecture. There are different layer or different level of TCP/IP protocol. So there is a application layer also that will define on TCP. So this protocol is belong to application protocol. So this is called application level protocol. HTTP is the foundation for data communication. When we will use World Wide Web or Internet is developed since 1990. So Internet has came, then HTTP also works for data communication. HTTP protocol is used to send HTML documents through the internet. So this is the purpose why we will use HTTP protocol. If we want to send any documents on the internet, so into the form of HTML, HTML means hypertext markup language, we will send our data or document on the internet. Now there are two types of HTTP version, HTTP version 1.0 and nowadays we will also use the HTTP version 1.1. So the main difference between this protocol is there are some basic difference of functioning, but HTTP version 1.0 is stateless protocol. Why we will call stateless protocol, I will discuss in the next slide when we will cover the topic HTTP features. HTTP 1.1 version is not stateless, but it is stateful protocol of HTTP. Now how HTTP works? Basically HTTP transaction between the client and server, here it is called into the term of browser and this machine is called into the server. So when we will send the request from browser to server, so it will accept the request that will arrive from the browser, and according to this request server will give response to the browser. So first we will give the request browser to server, then it will give response to the browser from server to browser. Now this is also HTTP client server architecture, or we will use this transaction when we will see the working architecture or working procedure of HTTP. Basically HTTP transactions between the client and server. So this is the HTTP client and this is the HTTP server. So here we define the HTTP client into the form of web browser and HTTP server into the form of web server. So client first initialize the transaction by sending a HTTP request message, and this message are sent client to server, and after accepting the HTTP request message over the TCP/IP protocol, so this HTTP server send the response into the form of server reply. So it will go on the HTTP client or web browser. So this is the architecture that will be based on HTTP client and server architecture, and that particular process is called HTTP transaction. Client send the request message and server send the response message. Now the protocol, or we can say the message types that we are used in HTTP. Basically HTTP formats are defined on the two types of message, like request and response protocol. So when we will done the request and response method, so there are three steps. First step is, first we will establish a connection from TCP IP. Then we will send a HTTP GET request along connection. When we will send the request, it will basically done into a form of GET method. After sending a HTTP GET request method, we will read the response of that particular method into the form of the response from the web server. So it will be read from the connection, the response from the web server. So these are three steps that will be used in HTTP request response protocol. Now when we will discuss about the message types of HTTP, there are two types of messages, HTTP request message and HTTP response message. So these are some components that will be used when we will design the HTTP request message header format. First component is request line. So what is the role of request line? Request line is a first line into the HTTP request message, and this will used to get a required resources. Second part or second component of HTTP request is header. So what do you mean by header? Basically header, or it will also define into the form of the request type message. So in this version we will use the HTTP 1.1 several types of requested or several types of methods that will be used in this header, and header will be defined generally into the three basic component. First one is when we will use the header of HTTP request line. So there are first component is request type, second component is URL, uniform resource locator, and third component of this header is HTTP version. And third part of HTTP request method is empty line, or we can say a blank line, and in the last we will use the body part, or we can say message body, which is optional if we want to present some message. So this body component will be used. So generally when we will use HTTP request, so HTTP 1.1 version is used into the header, and request type is basically depend on the request line. So request line is used in the HTTP request method. Now second type of message is HTTP response method. HTTP response method is generally defined into the following components that will be used in HTTP response header. Like first component is HTTP status code, second component is HTTP header, third one is empty line or blank line, that will be same as used in request message. Fourth one is a message body, which is optional. Now in the first line, like we will use the request line, so according to this we will use first line in the HTTP response method is defined into the term of status line. So status line will be defined and the codes are defined into the form of this field is used in the response message. Which type of status code will be used here? The status code field is generally similar to FTP and SMTP protocol, and the status code generally consists of 3 digits like into the form of 100, 200, 300, 400. So there are different range that will be used to define status code. Like if we use the range 100, so it will use only for informational status code. If we use code in the range of 200, so this type of code will be used into the form of successful request. If we will use the code range into the form of 300, so it will be defined into the form of redirect the client to another URL, and 400 range will be used into the form of indicate an error at the client side. So which type of status code will be used, I will discuss into the next slides. And the 500 range indicate an error at the server side. So generally we will use the range into 3 digits and 3 types of code like 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500. So there will be 5 types of ranges will be used. Next part is header part. So in the header part we will also define the HTTP response method when we will use the header of HTTP response. So first field of this is called HTTP version, and this field is also defined into the term of status line. And in the second part we will be use status code, and third part is used status phrase. So what do you mean by status phrase? Generally status phrase explain the status code in text form. Like if you write 100, so what do you mean by 100? So it will return into the text form like continue. So code 100 will be defined into the form of continue. So this is the structure of header. Empty line will also be used into the form of request message, or we can say blank line. Now again into the HTTP response method we will use a message body which is optional. Now there are some types of methods that will be used in HTTP method when we'll send the request type into the form of these 5 methods mainly used. Basically we will use 2 methods, get and post. Get request a document from the server, or it will define into the form of fetching a URL, uniform resource locator. Head is another type of method. Head will use to fetch information about a URL, means it will request information about a document but not the document itself. So this method is called head method. Put method is used to define send a document from the client to server. If we want to send some information from the client to server, so into the form of document, so we will use put method, and it is also stored to an URL. It will use to store the URL. Next type of method that we will used generally is called post method. So what is the role of post method? Post method send form data to a URL and get a response back. So when we want to send some information from the client to the server, so we will use the method post. But if we want to send a document from the server to the client, so we will use the method put. This is the difference between put and post. Now next type of method is used in HTTP, that is delete. So with the help of delete method, if we are using delete method, So it will delete a URL. Now these are some important methods, and some methods are also used, like option method, trace method, and connect method. So these are some HTTP methods. Now we will use the term status code in response message. So what are the different types of status codes that will be used in HTTP? Like 200, some codes are written here or display here for understanding the status code. Like the code is defined into the form of 3 digit. 200 means OK. So what do you mean by OK? The request is successful, because I already told to you the range of 200 message will be defined for success. If we use 201, 201 means a new URL is created. If we use the status code 202 means the request is accepted. 204 means no content. What do you mean by no content? There is no content in the body. Now the next series into the form of 300. So we will use 301, 302 and 304. So what are the phrase of this code? Phrase are written here with the status code, and these are the status phrase. Status phrase of 301 is moved permanently, 302 is moved temporarily, and 304 means not modified. Moved permanently means the request URL is no longer used by the server, and moved temporary means the request URL has moved temporarily. Not modified means the document has not been modified. So it will be used into the form of redirection information. Another type of error is defined into the range of 400 into the form of client error. So what do you mean by 400? Phrase of 400 is bad request. There is a syntax error in the request. When we will define or some error into the form of syntax, so this error will be generated. 401 is unauthorized, means the request lacks proper authorization. Means if you have no proper authorization, so it will be defined into the form of unauthorized. Now 403 is forbidden. 404 is defined into the form of not found. You already see this type of error when you will open any document, and if document is not found on the browser, so 404 method will occur. And 500 range will be defined into the form of server error. Like 500 means internal server error, like there is an error such as a crash at the server side, so this error will be generated. So these are some types of status code and status phrase that will be used in response method. Now the next or important feature that will be defined into the form of what are the features of HTTP or what are the characteristics of the HTTP. So first, HTTP is connectionless. Why it is called connectionless? Connectionless means when we will send a request from the client to server, so it will wait from the response when it will server side, and the connection is not established at that particular time, the second request method will also send. So this type of feature is called HTTP is connectionless, because in this we will use the TCP port number 80. Second feature of HTTP is media independent. Media independent means there are multiple types of data are used in HTTP, and the type of data or content will be not fixed. So this is called media independent. Next or important properties, HTTP is stateless. What do you mean by HTTP is stateless? HTTP is stateless means HTTP server maintains no information about the client. It generally work on the basis of the request that will be accepted from the client, but it will not maintain any information regarding client. So these are some topics that are covered in HTTP protocol, like what are the architecture of HTTP, how it works, what do you mean by HTTP. There are different types of HTTP request and response method, and under the request and response method there will be header format also. In the header format, first we will define the name of the header, and with the help of colon we will write the header value. And after this we will study some features or characteristics of HTTP, and now we will see what are the learning outcomes. So first outcome is ability to solve problems through application of theoretical and practical concept, and second outcome is design thinking ability. So these are some HTTP related learning outcomes. Now this is the exercise for practice some type of question. Questions are based on quiz type also, and some short question answer also. Like first question, how many types of message formats are there in HTTP protocol? 4 type, 3 type, 2 type and 5 type. I already discussed about the message format of HTTP. Second question is status line is present in which message format? So you will select any one answer. What do you mean by status line and in which format it will present? Third question is response is made up of a status code. So how you will represent a response message into the form of status code? Next question, what is the difference between FTP and HTTP? I already discussed about the concept of FTP and HTTP and what is the difference between FTP and HTTP. And the last question is give the difference between TCP IP and HTTP. So I already discussed about both the protocols TCP and HTTP. These are the reference book. So with the help of this book you will study the topics that are related to today's lecture or that are related to this course. Thank you to all and good day.